What's up, race fans? We're here in Northford, Connecticut in the shop of Michael Wray, driver of the number 42 late model. After a great year, he's going to give us a little bit of a tour of the shop. So how long have you had this shop, first of all?
Well, my dad built this place right after he moved in, so before my time. Prior to the race cars, it housed some classic cars that he restored. He restored a 63 Impala, 69 Chevelle, 84 Trans Am. And then at some point in 1999, my brother brought a race car home, and my dad said it wasn't going in his garage, and here it is. And it's been a race car in his garage ever since.
Yeah, it's been over 20 years, nothing has changed.
That's right.
So why don't you show us around here, just starting around the edges of what you have here at the shop.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's pretty basic. My dad's toolbox, he's had this thing probably as long as the garage has stood here. Drill press, who knows how long that thing's been here. I mean,
It's got the Mage on it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. These are bolts, nuts, all kinds of stuff that he's collected over his years. There's a master cylinder that came out of Dana's Limited.
Oh.
That's
Spoiler alert.
Yep. Air compressor. That thing's about as old as me. I remember my mom going to buy it, so
You're not that old though.
Oh, I'm 28. 28? Yeah, I'm almost 29.
You almost lost track.
I know. Wash tank. We got some nice oil heat when we're spending our winters here putting together 3 race cars. Got some nice oil heat to keep them warm.
How many cars can fit in this garage?
We have put 2. There's a photo floating around on social media. There have been 2 cars in here at the same time. It wasn't pretty, and you can't really work on them both at the same time, but they fit.
That's what matters.
Yep. We got a shop press here. Yep. We use that to primarily push some bearings in and out, or the bushings out of the control arms, again for Dana's Limited.
Got a bunch of springs down here.
Yeah, a whole bunch of springs.
Is that top secret?
No, not really. Those things are pretty old too. Some of those might have come out of the original late model from, again, like 2000. That's when Davey started at Stafford.
Speaking of old, you got, what is this whole contraptions, like tapes and all that stuff?
That's a sound system. Those speakers, actually, my dad bought them on layaway when he was in the Air Force in Iceland.
Huh.
Yep. Those are from the 70s.
And that still works?
That is not, so that's a little bit newer, but the speakers are from the 70s. That's probably early 2000s technology.
I haven't seen something like that in a long time.
Well, you're not as old as some of us, right?
I guess, a couple years.
We've got our tire machine, not to step on the feet of our friends at Hoosier Tire, but I know Justin Williams prefers not to touch my rims because they're pretty messy, because I can't afford new ones. So we just make do with what we got, and we mount our own tires usually. A whole bunch of raw bar stock for the bumpers when they get ripped off by our competitors.
That can happen in a late model race, huh?
That does happen. There are some tough customers out there, especially with full fields. You get to beating and banging pretty good.
And of course, we have the main accessory here in the garage.
Yep. This is a 42 late model. I have not started the off-season teardown yet.
No, you haven't. I think it's the first shop we've seen where it's not been stripped down yet.
Well, I heard you guys were coming, and I figured you'd want to see a complete race car.
Who told you?
Yeah, I think you did.
You did? It's a rumor.
Yeah. Dad, I think, probably started tearing that down this weekend. We got a whole bunch, like I said. We got my race car. We got the 44. Dana's Limited, which is currently at my brother's house, but may at some point come over here if it needs it.
So what's the history behind the chassis?
This, Jay Stewart ran this. I don't know quite which years. He ended up hanging it up. He had it sitting there. In 2015, I ran my brother's chassis that he's still running today. And then I happened to go visit Jay to talk about something. And I saw he had the chassis sitting there, and we made a deal on it. So
And it's still kicking.
Yep, we've been running it ever since.
That's cool. Thanks for having us here, and hopefully get a little bit more luck next year fighting for that championship.
I hope so.
That's Michael Wray. Great run last year, or I should say at the end of this year in the late models, finishing 3rd in the points, looking to do 2 better. We've seen him perform for a championship before, a couple runner-ups. He's not too far off from getting that first title.